Welcome back to the Daily Crypto Market Update. Galaxy Digital has completed a sale of over 80K Bitcoin worth more than $9 billion for a Satoshi era investor. Wow. Now, FUD like this typically makes markets dump, but this is literally the best time for them to sell because it's in the middle of a bull market. Way better now than when we're in a bear market. And of course, not necessarily because of that news, but we know that there's been a lot of pain in the last 24 hours. We've seen basically $500 million liquidated yet again. This is the second day in a row. Thursday, same story, basically $500 million in leveraged positions wiped out, which is huge. It's no small amount. Let's go over to TradingView and talk about BTC's price action. Now, the obvious reason why there were so many liquidations is because of this long lower wick. Wick to wick, BTC dropped all the way down here to 114,723. Now, I do have some good news, and I'm also a little bit frustrated because I don't get what happens. And I wonder if the CME settles after the fact or like a different day. It's really, really weird. But anyway, their CME gap was not 114,380. It actually moved up to 115,385. Now, on the CME chart, it didn't get filled. Don't really care too much about that. But of course, we know that on the chart for BTC, yes, that price level was actually filled right here, 115,380. I have a line right there. Perfect. So now that that gap is filled, are we out of this, are we out of the worry zone? Not really. Even though I do think that we're going to see charts go higher, the thing that we have to focus on now and be aware of is that any time price action pierces, which is what this long lower wick is, it pierces inside the cloud. This is a sign that we will most likely be continuing to chop sideways. I don't know for how long, but that's kind of where we are. We also still have our fair value gap down here where, we saw yesterday's low pierce the low set back on the 15th of July and also this low. Both of those are not good levels. I really wanted to see Bitcoin stay above them. But because we've closed inside, or not closed, wicked inside of the cloud, it's not a good sign that we're just going to be bouncing up from here. I know that the close yesterday was great. I'm sure a lot of people are happy, but there is a target, a possible drop down here, $211,000. It just depends. But one thing that was really great about yesterday's price action was volume. Now on Binance, volume was roughly 2.5 times the average. But actually, if we look at the BTC USD index, this is a huge show of volume. Yesterday's volume was almost 4 times the average with this chart. We saw similar volume back over here on the 15th of July. So we know that we chopped after that. That's why I'm also expecting us to chop after what happened. So the other thing to consider as well that isn't positive is, of course, because we had these red days of selling and lots of volume, on-balance volume has crossed below its white moving average. Now, this happens a lot, especially during choppy periods, but the main thing we need to focus on is what's the direction of this? Is this going to continue to move up? And if it is, then we have a strong uptrend. And I have reason to believe we should continue to stay above board, even if we have a quick dip down here. I do think that we're still staying strong bullish. Why? Because the TBO slow line continues to point up. If we look here at the angle, yeah, that's actually about it. And it's starting to curl up a little bit higher as well. If we zoom in, you can see right here, it's actually moving up more. So I know it doesn't feel bullish, especially for BTC right now. But as you all know, things look pretty amazing, especially for alts, especially with yesterday's close. We'll get into that in a second. On the 4-hour time frame, no TBO Close Longs. If anything, it confirmed an open short and the price moved back up. Now on the 4-hour, I don't really get freaked out about all this chopping inside the cloud just because it's a really fast time frame. What we really need to pay attention to more is the weekly. Now, we still have 2 days left, but weekend volume is usually pretty low for BTC USDT on Binance. And we have to go over here to check again and see. Okay, so the USD index, which is good, should exceed the moving average. That's a positive sign in my book. But one thing that I really want to see happen is closing green on the week and making sure that RSI stays above 70. We already beat this high here on the week of May 19th, I really want to see weekly RSI continue to make a new higher high. And I do believe that that is possible. But again, even with a pullback, this is a super strong cloud. Everything pointing up aggressively to the right means that Bitcoin, even with this little pullback, even with a weak week, it's still strong. Moving on to Ethereum. Ethereum closed up green yesterday, just like it did on Thursday, but only 0.5% yesterday. The cloud continues to point up aggressively. All 4 lines moving up like this is really, really good. Stablecoin Dominance. This one was the most freaky chart yesterday because we saw it increase significantly, moving up in wick to wick about 3.6%. But the main thing that happened yesterday is a pierce of this level. Now, I really want to see this, of course, you guys know, go back down, not just here to the 6.88% support, but go down a whole lot more. Now, we need to pay attention to a couple of things. We don't look at on-balance volume or volume because it's a percentage-based chart. So we look at RSI. RSI continues to curl up higher and higher. It's neutral at 50.28 right now. I really want to see weakness starting on this chart, which means another drop, which will mean a higher low for RSI. But again, because the slow line is curling down, and unfortunately, we don't have our data yet. TradingView took it away from us. But even here on the combined dominance chart for USDT, USDC, we can see the slow line is pointing down, telling us that the trend is turning bearish for stablecoins. I know it doesn't feel bearish because of this pullback, but think, where were we back in the beginning of July? Just absolute insane price action. So I do believe that we will continue to see stablecoin dominance go down, not up. But we do have a pierce, so there's a chance it could move up a little bit. But again, it's still macro bearish. Bitcoin dominance closed down yesterday. Now, I'm watching this slow line right here, which is still very flat, but flat is better than moving up. And what should happen next is we should see this start to curl downward, which should be awesome. Again, it's awesome because that means that the macro trend is bearish. Now, we already know that the price, quote unquote, because it's a percentage, is strong bearish because it's below the cloud, but we really want to see that macro trend, the TBO slow line curling downward. That's a good sign. Total E50. If you guys remember this chart from yesterday and the day before, I said, well, this is a TBO Springboard bounce opportunity. We're missing a lot of lines here because of TradingView, but still, like, what did we see yesterday? I mean, yes, Thursday was a rough day, but yesterday we got our bounce and we had almost a 3% close for total E50, which is the total crypto market cap excluding the top 50. I mean, that's a win in my book. I don't know about you. Now, the reality is that there's still way more left to this market. And if this past week has taught you anything, education is key. You need to learn how to handle volatile moves in the market. And that's what we do here at The Better Traders. We have awesome courses, but the one I want to share with you right now is 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom. This course is great because it talks about automated trading strategies using bots and also trend trading strategies using the TBO, as well as A/B trading, which is a really fun way to make some extra money. The crazy thing about this course is that it comes with one-on-one coaching. You never lose access. You actually get free updates. Like, it's insane. You get a free trial as well to the Better Traders Club, the trader tier that includes the TBO indicator. So it's a great deal. So I want to share with you how things are going with me on All Trading, or rather for me. We go over here to All Trading. Link has had an open position now for 5 days. This is open with a bot. So I'm waiting for the price of Link now to just kind of pop back up. It might take a little bit longer. I don't know. But you know what? Patience pays, because every single one of these positions at one time were red, just like these are red right now. So no, I'm not really freaked out. Same thing here with Maker. Maker, this one actually, oh, it looks like it's going to close its position today, which is great. But this one right back over here says the 21st of July. It was open for 4 days. This one, I believe, let's see, the 21st of July. Oh, I'm on the hourly. Here we go. So it opened up over here. It took some time, but eventually, guess what? It hit the take profit target. And if it doesn't, guess what? It's going to buy on the dip and it's going to sell on the bounce. Like, this is what it's all about. Now, you guys might remember a position I opened for SHIB. I'm wondering, okay, well, how are you doing with that? Well, I'm a little bit in the green, not amazingly so. And I bought a little bit too early. Don't really care because I'm just buying the dip and I'm buying the TBO Springboard bounce, which we're going to look at SHIB in a minute. But I am expecting SHIB to bounce over the weekend just because it's one of those coins that moves. And speaking of one of those coins that moves, I also opened up a long on SPX, admittedly at a terrible time too. I bought here, and I don't actually am okay buying at terrible times because I see the reversals happening. So I bought here. I already sold some, and I have another 50% here that I'm going to sell, just over $2. And I have trailing take profit right here set for my position. So if it hits this and it continues to rip higher, trailing take profit will follow the price as it moves up higher. I mean, this is essentially the same concept. So this is how I make money trading. It's fun. This is exactly what I teach you guys in the course at thebettertraders.com. Again, with the 50 minutes financial freedom course. All right, so let's go back to TradingView and let's talk about some charts. Now, before I get into today's picks, you know the deal. Like the video, leave a comment with coins that you're interested in me talking about next time, but more importantly, subscribe. Share my channel with people. Help me get to 100,000 subscribers this year. So many of you joined recently, and I'm super excited to have you with me. Let's keep growing the channel. So I'd love it if you would share this video with your friends, family, on your socials, all that good stuff, and let's go. Now, Solana, this one had a pretty severe pullback yesterday, and it looked pretty dismal, to be honest, down 6%. But where did the price actually go to? Right above the TBO Fast line? Like that's essentially a TBO Springboard bounce. But it's blue. It has a blue flag here because of these TBO Close Longs. And the expected behavior of TBO Close Longs is once they print, we don't sell down here. We wait for the price to go up to the TBO Fast line, which it did right there at 9 p.m. on Thursday. And we had another one Friday morning, and then we don't sell down here out of fear. We wait for the price to go back up. So it did that. So that one is done. Hooray. And then Litecoin, similar story. We had 3 of these, had another one. Boom. There we go. Close that one. So that's good. AAVE. Now this one is actually on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we saw AAVE print a TBO Close Long on Thursday. It's taken a little bit of time, but again, we never want to sell down here at max fear. Even at the close where things are pretty bad, we want to try to squeeze out some more profit, which is why we wait for the price to return back to the fast line. If things start to pick up across the board, I don't see any reason why AAVE will stop here. It might go up here to like 325 where TBO Resistance is. But again, I have confidence to buy the dip because the slow line's moving up, because the chart is still bullish. Now, ENA had a very exciting day yesterday. This proves my point. And this also proves my thinking that I shared in an X post recently. I need to go to my profile so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. But yes, this right here. Let me just show you real quick. So this is not bear market behavior. When we see stablecoin dominance moving up, that reflects fear. But others dominance, total E50 dominance, total E100 dominance moving up just proves my point that alts are bullish and want to pump even if Bitcoin won't cooperate. That's literally what we're seeing with all of these. The fact that ENA moved up 27% in a day is stupid. I don't care what kind of news there was. You all saw the price action yesterday across the board. Pretty bad. And yet, here we are, looking at a massive pump with a TBO breakout, which is what this light blue flag is about. CRO. This one also moved up yesterday as well, moved up 4.5% and printed a third TBO breakout. Really, really separated from the first two, but it's still good. And more importantly, volumes consistently outperforming the yellow moving average. The on-balance volume, this white line is moving up higher. It's still massively overbought, and the slow line is curling up. Now we might see some fluctuations as it goes up higher, but this is still a strong bullish chart. Now let's talk about those TBO Springboard bounces, shall we? Remember this one from Thursday for XLM right here? Well, got another one yesterday, and it still didn't close inside the cloud. Again, bullish. DOGE, TBO Springboard bounce yesterday. Look at that. ADA, TBO Springboard bounce on Thursday. And so far, we got another bounce down here, and it's still up about 6%. AVAX, TBO Springboard bounce, expecting it to go up here. SHIB, this is one that went a little bit deeper than I really wanted to, but so far still looking okay. SUI, this one dropped down on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to the TBO Fast line, and it's bounced up a lot since then, which is great. HBAR, this one did not touch the fast line, but this is still a TBO Springboard bounce in my opinion. NEAR, this one pierced the TBO fast line actually twice and tested it once. And where is it now? NEAR is actually moving up, which is great, 8% from there. SPX, this one had a TBO Springboard bounce yesterday, which is why I bought, if you remember that chart I just shared on all trading. Let me go back to it. So look at where I entered. Again, it was really bad, 180.78. So let's go back over here to TradingView to compare. 180.78. So I missed that, but I saw the fact that that happened. So it's like, oh, I'm not going to wait on this. I'm going to get my piece of action right now because I'm going to be riding this up to resistance. And already today it's up 2% and the slow line continues to go up higher. So it still looks great. ONDO, TBO Springboard bounce. Say, TBO Springboard bounce. And it dipped inside, a little bit scary, but this one's really similar actually to SHIB. Yeah. But again, I'm expecting things to bounce over the weekend. Jupiter, this one as well, TBO Springboard bounce. Beam, TBO Springboard bounce on Thursday, looking really good, heading back up here to resistance. FLOKI did not touch the TBO fast line, but we do have the TBO breakouts right here. So I'm expecting this one to shoot back up here to resistance. With this one actually closed inside instead of wicking. But given the sentiment right now and the slow line is moving up slowly, I think it should be able to get enough energy to shoot back up, at least here to like 124. MORPHO, this one on OKX, again, 3 wicks into the TBO fast line. It'll eventually shoot up here to about 213. Injective, this one had 2, one on Thursday, one yesterday. It's looking really good so far. Hex did not. This one had a TBO open long confirmed yesterday on Thursday, and it still hasn't moved yet. This one is just quiet. That's okay. But the fact that it's holding above the cloud, that's a good sign in my book. Now, some charts to just pay attention to and just keep an eye on. Bonk, this one did not have a TBO Springboard bounce, but look at the price action. Look at the demand for this. Look at the volume continuing to overwhelm the moving average. Like this is what you want to see in a super strong bullish chart. When things are bearish and everything is having a pullback and you're worried about where you want to buy, it's okay to go with what's strong or what was previously super strong bullish, even if it's chopping, because even since yesterday, up 11%, it's amazing. And Bonk should continue to move up to the 786. That's kind of what I'm expecting. Syrup, this is one that, again, had a crazy pump yesterday. Volume was basically 5 times the moving average, which is insane. Just absolutely ridiculous pump. Wick to wick, 44%. What's even crazier to me is the fact that where did it stop? It actually closed here at resistance. Yes, the pierce was amazing. Crazy price action, but this also proves my point that why is this popping? Why is it pumping if the market is bearish? It's not. Alts are just super duper impatient and they don't want to slow down. They just want to keep pushing higher. Pump. This one is interesting. Now, you guys know I don't really like to talk about Japanese candlestick formations, but this one is a pretty good indication of a hammer. A hammer is usually when we have a downtrend like this, and it actually looks really similar to a hammer. This is like one of the best examples I've seen, to be honest. And a hammer essentially is a really thin body right here, or it doesn't have a lot of space, but has a long lower wick like that. It looks like a hammer. So we could start to see a reversal here for pump. Now, I don't see any signs of a reversal happening on the 4-hour. For RSI, it was oversold, has an RSI reset, but the 4-hour is pretty weak for that. But I think we could start seeing a reversal for pump. I mean, if we do, though, it's very oversold. It's very risky, and it's getting a lot of hate right now, as you guys probably are well aware of. So you just want to be careful trading a chart like this. I would expect it to have some resistance, even right here. So from the current price, that's like, I measure it up, like to about here, about 42%, but it's very, very, very risky. Bitcoin Cash is also looking great. Had a good volume yesterday, good close, 8%, but The only thing against this chart that I have is the fact that it's coming up on resistance. Let me hide these guys. So it's coming up on fairly long-term resistance. There's the March high, November high, coming up on another high. If it can break above this, awesome. But this is a very strong level of resistance. Just want to make that super clear. And then last but not least, Pengu. Pengu had a great day yesterday, mainly because it opened right above the 786 and it closed above it. Yes, it has a long lower wick. I don't really count Pierce's like too much with Fibonacci retracements and stuff like that. But the main thing again is that look, all 4 lines of the TBO cloud remain pointing up. It's strong bullish. If we look at everything down here, the indicators, volume still overwhelm the moving average. Like it's still strong bullish. So I do think that Pengu's chilling out. I think that Bonk's going to have a turn next. Where'd you go, Bonk? Can't even see. There's too many tickers. Oh my gosh, I'm literally blind. Oh, right there. Duh. So I think that it's Bonk's turn, and they just kind of keep taking turns going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But the main thing that you guys need to take away from today, these are the days where you don't panic too much. We buy the dip. I know it doesn't feel good to buy the dip when things are dumping and looking red, but that's my job. This is what I teach you in our courses at the Better Traders. And again, 15 Minutes of Financial Freedom, fantastic course, comes with one-on-one coaching, comes with a 1-month trial to the Better Traders Club, tons of stuff included in that course. Go check it out now at thebettertraders.com and have a great weekend. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.